My name is Shelley. I live in the States, but I'm originally from the Czech Republic. I'm 16 years old. When I first came here, I was 15. Now, currently, I'm based in Beijing, China. Now I live in the Fentai district. It's coming up to 11 months, I think. Yeah. I've been taking part of the high school program for LTL, and I've been going to high school here. When I first came here, I had a month of LTL lessons and summer camp, but then after the month, I started high school here. What's it like? It's quite an experience. When I first decided to do it, for me, it was kind of a spur of the moment decision, so I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had different expectations. Chinese high schools and American high schools are opposites, I would say. But to be honest, you learn to adapt really quickly. Everyone there treats you like you would be family, and that's what's different from American high schools too, because there it's very like your kids, but yeah. I'm currently a 10th grader now in high school. I wake up usually around 6:30. I have to be at school no later than 7:20. Then we have kind of a homeroom study. The teacher tells us things, something that might happen during the day, or I don't know, some new information. Then 8 o'clock, the bell rings, and first period starts. Then you just have your normal classes. The classes are about 40 minutes long. You either have 10-minute or a 5-minute break in between. Then around 12, you have lunch. You have lunch for about 2 hours, but it's not just lunch. You have, different activities. Currently now we have sports competitions, or you can join different clubs, do math competitions, science. There's kind of a various area. Then after lunch, that ends around 2:30. You have classes again. Each day has a bit of a different schedule, so you can end earlier or later sometimes, but mostly you end around 5:30, and until then you just have classes like you would normally have in high school. So most of them are in Chinese. The AP courses that they'll probably put you in are half English, half Chinese, which means the books and most of the words that the teacher is using, the important keywords, are in English, but the rest are Chinese explanations. I'm not gonna lie, the first day that I was there, I had a breakdown. I did not think I would be able to make a year understanding anything or even getting grades, let alone taking exams. But after maybe the couple months, maybe not even 2 months, then kind of caught on. And you get the hang of the words because the teacher repeats them over and over again, and they really drill you on vocabulary and stuff like that. For chemistry, they drill you in the beginning for all of the elements in Chinese. So you get the hang of it after a while, and then when you're listening to the teacher, you know what she's talking about because you understand that. It wasn't so good, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely came here to further it, which I did. I can now understand, I want to say 98% of what teachers are talking about, what outside life I can understand, which is really helpful in a lot of situations. So, friend-wise, that one, it kind of came naturally. I have to say you need to keep an open mind. They do have, it's a different culture, of course, anywhere in the world. So, they're really close and personal with each other, so you make maybe 1 or 2 really good friends, and the rest are kind of just acquaintances. And they want it that way kind of situation. So, which I don't mind, but you really need to be open-minded and have kind of, don't shut yourself out kind of thing. Even if you don't want to talk to them, you just gotta, introduce yourself. And to be honest, from then on, the whole year, and I even got to know people that were like not from the international department, which was also nice, that just went to a normal high school there, yeah. In the beginning, it was English because they do understand English, some of them more than others, of course, but it was English at first, and now they know that I understand Chinese. So they'll speak to me in Chinese, and even if I can't respond in Chinese, which that's always been my weakness is speaking, they still know I understand them, so I can answer them either in English or in Chinese. But you don't need to be afraid that no one there is going to understand you. Like now, it's gotten to the point where I can go to the police station on my own and figure out things with my visa or my passport. Like in the beginning, if someone told me I had to go to a Chinese police station, I would laugh at them because I did not think that would be possible. But even if speaking is an issue for you, the listening and the writing, it comes. It's not like it won't come. It just, you need to get the hang of it, and it takes time, of course, like any language. So. I've met a lot of foreigners here. So on weekends, I'm usually with them because Chinese high school is very, very studious. So most of the kids in my class are very busy with taking extra classes or doing something. So I'm not gonna say you can't do anything with them on the weekends. I know like Conrad, for instance, the other international students, he does some stuff with them on the weekends. But like the girls in my class or in the other classes, for instance, have a lot of classes. So they can't really, we've gone to the movies and stuff like that, but mostly, foreigners, and you meet a lot of them here at LTL. And also, it's interesting connections. I met one person here at LTL who introduced me to another group of people, who then introduced me to another group of people, and it's kind of like really weird because now I hear that one person knows the other person, and for Beijing being the capital of China, everybody knows everybody. So you gotta be able to get out of your shell, because if you don't want to, it's gonna be, I think, a lot harder. And because I am a social person, it wasn't as hard for me. And also, like I mentioned to you before, finding someone or like a rock you can rely on, whether it's LTL or someone from school, a friend, it helps in the beginning because you can trust somebody that, A lot of these kids here, they come from different backgrounds, so you already have something to talk about that's different from each other. And most of them are pretty open people. Like they don't come here just to study or just to do, they're very open-minded also. So it's easy to find someone. And if you can, I wouldn't give up because, again, Beijing is the capital and it's a very big city. So there's always someone here. On the weekends, because of course, they're sometimes strict about you missing school. So you can't really miss school to travel. But, we have like a month break, I believe it is. So I know like Anna, I think she traveled during that period. I actually went back home, so I didn't do much traveling. But on the weekends, I've gone to like Shanghai and different provinces, and you can take a train, like a bullet train for like 50 yuan outside of the city to some nature. I've done hiking here, Great Wall, and that's also how you meet people, is you get tugged into some organization or group, and then all of a sudden you have like 20 new friends that you can do something with. So I'm gonna say Beijing. I've grown to really love this place, and I actually told my teacher at school, she's like, so you guys are like leaving soon? And I said, I do not want to. Like I don't know, it already seems like a home to me after 1 year that I didn't think I would say I don't want to leave kind of thing. Don't take, like everybody might say this, but don't take anything for granted. Just really enjoy what you have the moments that you have, try not to have expectations. I think that's what I did, is I had a lot of expectations of how it might be. And I know it sucks not knowing what you're going into, and this video is made so they know what, they're getting themselves into, but you just kind of have to run with it, and you will fall into place, really. So I would give them the advice that they're doing a really good thing, and that they'll get far with what they're doing here. I come here actually now twice a week, kind of off and on, once, twice, depends on when my teacher can. LTL lessons are very helpful actually, because I'm not going to say homework-wise for school, but just furthering your Chinese again faster, it helps to have just like one-on-one lessons with a teacher, even, if they're a bit more expensive, sorry. But, it helps because you have a teacher there that you can communicate with, and if you have any questions about culture, language, and like I personally got very close to my teacher, we talk about even personal stuff that either in English or in Chinese, but you get a bond with most of the teachers here. So it's quite nice, again, to have a rock, so to speak. I don't regret it, absolutely not. Everything that I've done here, everything that I will maybe still do before I leave, I don't regret one thing. I think for the newcomers, it's a great thing what they're deciding to do. It's definitely will even help you, I think, personally in the future. As the experience here, again, don't regret anything. I'm really happy I decided to come here, and even if in the beginning you're really at that point where maybe one weekend you say you want to go home, don't do it. Stay, because you definitely